Cardinals. This game is in Dallas, where the Cowboys have been very good. They are only a 2.5-point favorite. For those of you who don't follow the way point spreads work, generally you get 3 points for being at home. So ESPN Bet is telling us they think the Cardinals and Cowboys are, for all intents and purposes, equal. Hembo sent me a note, the reminder, the Cowboys actually have a worse point differential. The Cardinals' point differential on the season is -1. They've been outscored on the year by 1 point. Cowboys have been outscored on the year by 4 points. So are we in a world right now? We sit here and talk about the Cowboys like, oh, they're just one win away from one trade away. Are we actually living in a world where the Cowboys are much closer to the Cardinals than they are to the Eagles?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know. I feel like every week we talk about how tough it is to watch their defense play.
Ooh.
Like, they are like amongst the historically bad defenses right now, and they're bad in a way that is really dangerous. To Lewis's point earlier, they let people run the ball on them. If you can't, that's like foundational football things. Like at day one, we can't do anything else if we can't stop the run. We start worrying about blitzing and coverages and all this other stuff after we stop the run. Yeah. You can't stop the run, you can't win it. They can't.
I mean, when you put this in historical perspective, just how bad they are, which I was asking Hembo, like, just give me something that can really quantify just how bad they look subjectively when you're watching them. They're allowing 52% on third down conversion rate to opposing offenses.
Just
think about this.
They are allowing
52.4% of third downs they are allowing to be converted against them, which is the worst rate by any defense across the last 40 years. 40 years,
and that's the run defense.
And that's not just us banging on the Cowboys. No. Those are just hard, objective facts.
Russell Wilson looked like 2015 Russell Wilson.
Right.
And Russell Wilson's not even on the field anymore against that Cowboys defense. I'll also say this. Kyler Murray coming back, I have a vision of Monday Night Football, Kyler Murray just running and dancing all over that defense on that field. Going back to Texas, that could very well happen.
You see the look on Matt Eberflus's face, the defensive coordinator, half the time when they flashed to him on the sideline. He's looking too like
how?
Damn.
How?
Like, what am I looking at?
How we fix this?
You know what I mean?
Hey, who's coming up? We got no players to come up. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. That's where
you know what I mean? And that's not to make light of it, because look, it's a tough job, man. Especially when you're dealing with who you have and you're coaching who the front office gives you. But man.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I'm not absolving him.
I just wanted to be clear.
I'm not absolving him.
When you have stats that haven't been this bad in 40 years, it's everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true.
It's everybody.
That is true.
So, Matt, you in there too, man.
Great point.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's heavily in there because I get a lot of people who are telling me that the scheme is this and that, whatever the case is. Play a little more
scheme.
If indeed there is a scheme.
Can I make it
when the receivers are that open? This is the point someone was making. When the receivers are that open, it's not a guy getting beat.
No,
that's people not knowing where they're supposed to be.
That's a function.
We were in Seattle a couple of weeks ago, Lewis and I, and we did that Seahawks versus Texans game.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald is talking about DeMarcus Lawrence like he is one of the greatest leaders he's ever had. He says the best practice player he's ever had. The Cowboys let him walk this offseason too. So it's not just Micah. Jordan Lewis looks like an all-pro in Jacksonville. Yeah. He was on the Cowboys. Like, they have let so much talent walk off the field. And
they're all happy to be gone.
You know what? They should probably consider a new general manager. Might want to look at that.
You might have called that a long time.
This guy got them Javonte Williams and George Pickens. He did some things right. Let me show you one more number if I can. Cindy, Jeff, C40, if you would, please.
I love C40.
The Dallas Cowboys are playing for their season on Monday night. If they lose Monday night, they have a 9% chance of making the playoffs. What number are you putting on their percent chance of making the playoffs?
This much.
We're done.
Done. I said, we love to get excited about the Cowboys. We just made all the points about the defense. I don't care how good Dak is. You got to go on the road, which they haven't been good. Even at home, it's impossible to stay that efficient on offense. It's fatiguing. Yeah. It's going to wear everybody out. And you got an owner/GM beating the drum each week about how good you are, how close you are. It's just fatiguing for everybody. I don't even give them 9%. I give them that good goose egg.
Coming up, we'll talk about a team that is a legit playoff team.
Oh, baby. On Monday, the 3-win Cowboys host Kyler Murray, and the Cardinals. Stephen A. will be in the house. The Cowboys are coming off a disappointing Week 8 loss where the defense struggled, but it wasn't great for Dak in the offense either. And Dak has been having a great season prior to Sunday's disaster in Denver, but head coach Brian Schottenheimer had some strong words about the entire state team.
None of us have done good enough. That's real. I mean, our scorecard is what it is, And that's not just, defensively, that's offensively. We're a football team that's 3-4-1. You can take the stats on offense and shove them up your ass. As far as I'm concerned, is what it is. We want to win.
Okay, Shotty, we welcome in Mina Kimes to the show. Mina, what do you make of what Shotty just had to say?
Mina.
Hello. I think he's right. First, I'd like to say, I think Brian Schottenheimer has done a fantastic job. This was a coaching hire. A lot of us kind of raised our eyebrows, didn't seem like the first choice. And all he's done is come in and call one of the best offenses in football. He didn't ask for their best defensive player to be traded before the season starts. So he's done everything he can, I think, with the personnel at his disposal. Dan and I both agree that he probably needs to be more aggressive moving forward because of the defense being so poor. But deserves credit for how he has led this team, how he has led this offense, and really what this offense has shown us that they're capable of. I know that they had a bad game. It was one game. This is still a very, very good offense. And unfortunately for him, it doesn't seem like there's a trade in the offing that could make the defense even close to what it needs to be. But all they can do is continue to call the best offense, or he can call the best offense he can going forward, and hope that they can compensate for it on that side of the ball.
Yeah, listen, this is a historically bad defense. Yeah. Historically bad. You can make the case. There's a lot of things that say it's one of the worst defenses in the NFL over the last 20 years, okay? I think the offense has been really good at times, and I think there's area for growth for this offense. They haven't been great in the red zone, and let's be honest, the 4 losses that they have, they've averaged like 21 or 22 points a game in those losses. I understand, Mina, they were great against the Packers, but they weren't very good against the Jets. They weren't very good against the Chicago Bears. They weren't very good last week. And so there's been moments where this offense has been exceptional and often against pretty poor defenses. And then there's been moments where there's been some left to be desired for their performance. So when it comes to the Cowboys and Shotty's comments, I agree he's been very impressive. It's made me ask the question, why hasn't he been calling plays more in Dallas over the past couple years? But this offense isn't consistent enough right now for me. This offense isn't consistently elite enough to overcome a historically poor performing defense.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think what Mina said at the top of this is the most important. Brian Schottenheimer deserved this job, and he's earned the right to continue to do this job, even with this defense playing at the poor level they're playing at. And then, we gave him a hard time when he talked about the difference in Cincinnati last year and Dallas, because they also had a poor defense last year. You could hang your hat on Joe Burrow playing at that level week in and week out. You could do the same for T. Higgins. You could do the same for Jamar Chase. The ups and downs of the Dallas Cowboys offense is what makes you a little bit skeptical about, even if they go out and get a playmaker, which you need more on defense, could this team be good enough to make a run to the playoffs? And I just don't think they can. The problem that I saw against the Chicago Bears and also against the Denver Broncos, though, is that sometimes this defense is so poor, they put Dak and this offense at a disadvantage.
That's fair.
Because now you take Javonte Williams out of the play.
That's
right?
fair.
Out of play. You can't give him the ball. You can't consistently run. And to me, that's when we've seen Dak's play take a step back.
First things first.
Let's go.
When it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, allow me to say this. The man got the job. Obviously, Jerry Jones was perceived as taking the shortcut or whatever. I can't believe this. I'm actually a fan of Brian Schottenheimer.
Let's go.
Totally.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm actually a fan of his.
Totally.
I genuinely like him. When you think about somebody like a Wade Phillips, for example, he was a likable guy as your head coach, a good man, which obviously had the right pedigree with his dad and all of this other stuff. But at the end of the day, you knew something was missing. You don't get that whatever is missing from the Dallas Cowboys is because of Brian Schottenheimer. You got that with Jason Garrett. You did. Let's just call it what it is. Doing a good job on NBC. Congratulations, not knocking him. But when he was there, you thought something was missing from the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, how many times you just gonna applaud no matter what's going wrong with y'all? That ain't what we seeing from Brian Schottenheimer. What we seeing from Brian Schottenheimer was some things we saw from Marty Schottenheimer. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, listen, we all know that Marty Schottenheimer was a hell of a coach. Was a hell of a coach, okay? I'm looking at Javonte Williams, second in the league in touchdowns. I'm looking at Ferguson as a top tight end in the National Football League. We know what Dak is doing. We know what CD and Pickens can do. We see it, and all the pieces are there. I think the greatest thing that you can say about Brian Schottenheimer is that, what do I always say? Don't let it be you. Don't let it be you. It ain't him.
Yeah.
It ain't him right now. It's not him. But it is that damn defense. And we gonna remind the world that there's two sides. There's three, you want to ask special teams. There's really two sides. It's defense. 31st in total defense.
This is brutal.
31st in scoring defense. 31st in pass defense.
Who's 30?
29th in run defense. Dead last, number 32 in third down defense. Red zone defense, 28. It's on you, Jerry. It's on you, my Libra buddy. My Libra buddy. It's on you because you've got to do something to have the offensive weapons that they have combined with getting, let's face it, what we didn't expect from Brian Schottenheimer. We don't see a man as their head coach that's deficient at his job. Brian Schottenheimer looks very, very capable. This offense looks very, very capable. Now, Overshown's getting ready to come back, practice this week. You understand? Coming back for the first time. You understand? Against the Raiders, that's the only reason we ain't calling it a bye week, because he actually like go out there and tackle. Because the Raiders are essentially a bye week. We understand that, how horrible they are, okay? The point is, you going to get your boys some help? What are you going to do?
That's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter.
I understand it, but what I'm saying to you, he's got to try. Because the deficiency.
It's the question I asked you, though. If you try, you got to say, I made a mistake.
Okay.
I'm working on that. Not you. I'm saying Jerry Jones.
I'm saying we're working on trying to get them to admit.
Oh, okay.
we
get there on Monday?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to see my buddy. He's going to see me on Monday. We're working on him like, yo, Jerry, you got to admit you made a mistake. Your boy Stephen A. trying to help you. I'm usually not that person for the Cowboys. I'm usually looking to troll them. I'm usually looking to laugh at them. You understand? I want meeting them. I'm coming to see you Monday, girl. I'll be there with you. I'm going to be laughing. You know, I love laughing at them damn miserable Cowboy fans when I want to see them crying. I want to see their holidays ruined. I'm making an exception. I'm changing a little bit here because I'm like, yo, you got a chance. You got a chance. You got to try to do something, because if the Dallas Cowboys are just middle of the road, think about the noise they could make. That's what I'm saying.
Quick note, it wasn't just Micah, which was obviously one of the colossal trades.
Sure.
DeMarcus Lawrence is having a career resurgence up in Seattle. They let him walk. Jordan Lewis is great in Jacksonville. They let him walk. This defense, you can only ask so much from these players. They aren't superstars out there. So we'll see how it happens. But as we talk Cowboys, before we go, we actually wanted to check in with some of our new colleagues because they had some thoughts too. Take a listen.
This is our second week on ESPN.
Yes.
And we still haven't talked about the Cowboys. Isn't that amazing?
Cowboys. Oh, you know, they have a contractually obligated to talk about the Cowboys every day, even though their defense can't stop a bloody nose.
Stay off my team.
What?
Stay off the Cowboys.
Yep, they fit right in.
Hey, they're perfect. They are perfect.
They absolutely are. But Chuck and Shaq gonna fight over that because, you know, Chuck will call it like he sees it, and Shaq is a closet Cowboy fan in his own way and stuff like that. Because he's one of the people that I laugh at when they going down. I had Denzel come on here a few months ago. He like Jerry called out Jerry Jones in a very volatile fashion. Denzel was very, very upset.
He was Alonzo.
That's right.
That was Alonzo Denzel.
Right. My man Omar Epps. I mean, another Cowboy. I know Homer Allen. There's a whole bunch of Cowboy fans I've been trolling all of these years. You understand what I'm saying? And I save it for them. They know I get quiet because I'm waiting for the holiday season when your nose dies.
Well, they're going to have
but they're not
another year.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think if Jerry Jones goes out there, Mina, and gets just a piece.
You think what?
I think you should try.
But what do you think that does?
I think that puts them in a position to compete for a playoff spot.
No.
Hold on.
One player's not enough. Like if they added Trey Hendrickson, by example, does that not do anything? No.
This team ain't going to the playoffs.
Done deal.
I don't think so either. But I think they got a chance. You got to try. You don't think they should do anything? Go ahead, Mina. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mina.
No, I mean, I agree with Stephen A. I do think the offense is good enough to where it is worth trying to get better on defense. Dan, I don't agree with you that this is historically bad defense. I think they're bad, but having looked at the numbers myself, they're not historically bad. I look at this Cowboys schedule, and I see them getting to 8 wins, frankly, which is not enough to make a playoff spot. Is it possible that they could steal another win and be in contention for a wild card? Yeah, it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely or that they're a favorite. Obviously, they're not going to win the division, but it's possible. They're 3-4, guys. Like, I do not think, when I look at this team, the offense is good enough to where I do not think it is time to write them off altogether. Obviously, the defense has to improve. Obviously, you want them to be playing, if not average, at least below average, and that seems hard to get to. But they can absolutely get to 8 wins, and then, we'll see what happens from there.
I get the 3-game stretch: Philly, Kansas City, Detroit. I expect
Cardinals.
I expect them to lose at least 2 of those games. They could beat the Cardinals. They will beat the Raiders. Okay, why not beat Minnesota? They could beat the Chargers. That's a home game in Dallas. They can beat the Chargers. And then you got the Commanders and the New York Giants.
Okay, guys. Number one, this team, as far as defensive efficiency rise, over the last 20 years would rank 632nd out of 640 available defenses. That's historically bad, MK. Number two, there's 6 out of the 7.
When you say defensive efficiency, what do you mean?
The six out of the 7 NFC playoff teams are already in. They're locks. There's 10 teams fighting for 1 playoff spot.
Yeah.
The 6 teams that are already in the NFC playoffs: Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, the Rams, Seattle, Detroit, and Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's 6. Only 7 are getting in. So that means that you're telling me that you think it's more likely Dallas is getting in over a San Francisco? Can they get a pass rusher? Then who do you believe in more, San Francisco or Dallas? What about Atlanta? Because their talent is just about as good as anybody going. Atlanta can very much so.
Manders, Minnesota.
What about Minnesota? Could they get healthy? Could they play better? So 6 out of the 7 are locks. Dallas, are you taking Dallas?
But the point is not, I think Mina understands that. She said, is it likely? No. But there's also something to trying, right? There's something to saying, hey, you know what? We didn't expect to be this good on offense. We may not have expected Brian Schottenheimer to do what he's doing as a play caller, as a head coach, as a delegator. Let's go give these dudes something to fight about. Like, that's the other piece when you're looking at George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, when you're getting your doors blown off and people are running up and down the field. Like, I've been on a team that defensively was like that, and then you had to go on the field and watch an offense and be like, okay, we ain't got no shot.
Sure.
And it's hard to get up week after week after week and keep fighting. If Jerry Jones says, you know what? I let Jordan Lewis go, like you said, or I let Michael Parsons go. We let DeMarcus Lawrence go. Let's go try to help these dudes. Let me go do some work. And at least now you walk into a locker room like, we ain't giving up. Because you play with this defense.
Be looking for people, but the Cowboys sitting at 3-4 behind the Eagles, who are at 6-2. Do the Cowboys make a move for someone? If so, who?
If Jerry Jones is still the GM of this team, the acting GM, they're going to make a move at the deadline. I think the Cowboys think they are so close, or much closer to the playoffs than they actually are defensively. So the guy I think they're going to go after is Quincy Williams, linebacker from the New York Jets. This linebacker room, without DeMarvion Overshawn, who is still coming back from major knee injury, has been awful this season. And I think they just need a guy with experience, with instincts to fill gaps correctly, and have some sort of range in pass coverage. I think Quincy Williams brings a lot of energy. He brings a lot of aggression moving forward. And I think he's just a much better player than the guys they have on the roster outside of Overshawn. If you pair those two together, they can be incredibly athletic and give them some juice at the second level that they don't really have. I know they're looking at defensive linemen, some more pass rush help, which, I mean, they traded away a guy that could have been the pass rush help for them this season. But I think going and adding Quincy Williams would be a nice little, we'll see what we can do this year and then figure it out later.
I love it. No notes. I'm not even going to say anything. GP, Mike Renner, we appreciate it.